And the most important thing here is, whenever you use your body, always try to do so joyful. This is maybe the most important aspect of all. Putting pressure on the body, demanding movement, allowing for impact, physical impact from the outside, allowing for loads in the body that are not common is really important. Movement or structure becomes pathologic the instant it gets stuck in one or the other extreme. For instance, if you walk around with an arched back like so, and this is your permanent way of walking, your permanent structure, there is something wrong. Whether it's weak muscles in the back or too much connective tissue tension in the front, a traumatic experience that once literally cramped up your heart, or maybe just sitting in front of the computer too much, doesn't matter. Whenever you are stuck in a certain body structure and it's really hard to get out, or not possible at all, because I know people who have this structure because they've been living with such a structure for 20 plus years. Whenever something like that happens, there is no easy fix. It's not possible to fix something you've done for 20 or 30 years within one night. It takes work, it takes effort to do so. But it's really important for you to decide, how do I want to spend this effort? How do I actually want to work on that? And you can do that in two ways. You can do that, damn it, I have to do something, everything is hurting, I don't want to do anything, I want to stick to the old. Well, why are you doing anything at all? If you don't want to change, if you do not see any positive other than being free of pain in where you want to go, then it's really difficult to change. But the instant you realize that it's not just about getting rid of pain, but it's about regaining possibilities, regaining new perspective, regaining the ability for free movement, for expression, for joy. The instant you realize that, then the next steps are really easy. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. That's the most important motor of all. The joyful and positive approach. Don't try to fight something you don't want. Make sure to do whatever you want to do in terms of training with a focus of enhancing, improving, making something better, having more joy, having more fun in life. That's where you should go. Getting back to movement and to the loads and impacts of external forces or also internal forces on movement and why it's important. Well, obviously, your muscles, your sinews, your whole connective tissue, they're all interlinked also physically in your body. Your whole organ function depends on a healthy pulsation in the body, depends on a healthy circulatory system, depends on a healthy fascia structure. Because when the connective tissue in your body is twisted and all tense up, then your organs also get something from that pull and from that push, and they also are being distorted inside of you. So it's never just a structural problem. A structural problem in the physical body always translates into impulses that reach into your organ structure, into your organ functions, into your immune system, into your heart pressure, blood pressure, into your mental abilities, your emotional abilities and adaptability. So it's all connected. Training your muscles is also extremely important, and training your muscles is as important as trying to open them up and to become flexible, because the body needs both. The body needs flexibility, the body needs the ability to stretch, as well as a certain strength in order to have full mobility, because mobility is a mixture of flexibility and strength. Why? Because there are some joints in the body that are not secured by tendons alone or by ligaments alone or by the joint capsule alone. No, there are also joints in the body that are mainly secured through the muscles that surround them. The shoulder joint is one of those joints. So whenever your muscles in the shoulder area are weak, this also means that you'll naturally tense up whenever you want to come into certain positions. The same goes for your hamstrings. If your hip joint and your knee joint are extremely loose, there's a high probability that your hamstrings won't open up immediately, because your body actually wants to make sure that you do not get ripped apart when your structures are too loose. Don't get me wrong, having loose structures is great, is awesome, and really important. But having the ability to actually work and to create strength with them as well, or to actually use power and force in terms of a push-up, in terms of lifting something, is just as important. And by a simple approach of trying to reduce impact and trying to reduce pressure in the joints to a minimum, you'll never get this holistic, perfectly functioning body. A minimum amount of pressure in the joints. I've used that term many times throughout my videos. When we talk about that, or when I've been talking about that, what did I mean? I always said it's the minimum amount of tension, the possible minimum amount of tension in your muscles that's needed to uphold a certain body structure. Then you can move the joint freely. But that's a principle of relations. Because if I'm standing upright and I move my arms, they can be extremely free. They can be extremely soft. My spine can be extremely soft. Because there isn't a lot of tension, a lot of pressure, a lot of external force on them. Whenever I'm standing in the same position and say I'm roughing with someone, or I just want to pick up, say, a case of water bottles or beer or whatever, a bag of rice, a 20-kilo bag of rice, then obviously I need more tension. But still, I can do whatever task is asked of me, or whatever task I demand from my body, in an optimized and then not so optimal way. The optimized way still goes after the same principle. Using your body in such a way that you use the minimum amount of tension necessary for this movement, the best possible coordination for a certain movement, in order to perform this specific task and not more. Because why use excessive force? Why use more pressure, more power than necessary for a specific movement? Unless, of course, I'm actually training my body. I actually intend to work on improving my muscle strength. But then again, if I just want to lift a bucket, then I can do so by using my arms and using my shoulders accordingly. Or I can do so by pulling my shoulders up to my ears and using my arms not at all or in the wrong way. See, this means that tension is used in a part of the body where it doesn't have to be for this specific movement. And you can do that sometimes in order to create new patterns in the body. But if you want to move most efficiently and still train your body in healthy movement and still want to be effective in what you do, then it's a good idea not to do that permanently. Whenever a pattern becomes permanent, try to leave it. This was a lot about the body, about impact on the body and why it's important to have it up and running. Hope you liked the video. Hope you made it until the end. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below. Make sure to like, share and subscribe, because there's a lot more updates to come about this subject, about how to walk correctly, about consciousness and movement and all this stuff in the future. And I wish you a very pleasant day. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and see you around soon. All the best and have a wonderful time.